All right, everybody, this is a Motostars video. My name is DanDanTheFireman. Real quick before we jump into this, a little background history if you're brand new to the channel is that I was an MSF rider coach. I was a firefighter for 11 years, so International Association of Professional Drivers, MSF rider coach, lots of different classes, lots of different things, and I'm trying to grab all that information that I have had over the years, and I developed the plan method, and we go over crashes and close calls, and we go over the plan method because this right here will keep you safe as a brand new rider. And I can't wait for the Smart Rider Training Manual to come out so I can teach you guys how to ride. Just hit subscribe so you guys can see that. But let's go over some crashes and close calls and see what we could have done differently and what they did right so we don't make the same mistakes ourselves when we're out riding, okay? Here we go.
Hello everyone, today we will start by looking at
Oh, Bike is Life on the Kentish roads. I've seen him a few times. So this is lane splitting. Open lane pattern incoming. Yeah. Oh, did you watch this before, Unorthodox? So we're chatting today. This is a live stream. It's a live class. Everyone's eating pizza. And we have the chat coming on. And he was mentioning an open lane pattern. So what is an open lane pattern? That's something that we talk about here. We have open lane patterns, side of the vehicle patterns, right? So these are things that we typically pick up on as humans. We have mirror neurons. We're the most amazing pattern recognition species in the world, and we tend to see things before we actually think about what it is. So the whole point of the open lane pattern is this right here. This is a good one right here. Is that we have a bunch of vehicles stacked up, right? We have vehicle here, vehicle here, vehicle here, and it just keeps going, right? We have a big open lane right here. Okay, so open lane pattern, if you see this, let's go ahead and delete all this stuff. If you see this in your vision when you're riding or driving, we're in this lane, let's pretend we're all the way in this lane. We see this, we can assume somebody from the right lane wants to come into our lane because they don't want to be stuck behind a bunch of people. You do this all the time naturally. You do your head checks, you check your mirrors, you check your blind spots, whatever, and you switch lanes. And you put on your indicator and switch lanes. You do that typically when you're driving or riding, right? We can't assume everyone's going to do that. If you do it, doesn't mean everyone's doing it. Okay? So people are just going to switch out real quick in front of you. Okay? So watch out for this. And so as this position for safety, this is a great video right here. Position for safety, we're all the way on the far right of this lane. This is a hazardous situation. We're assessing if anybody's a threat. They're not a threat until they start going into our lane, so we don't have to navigate it right away, navigating into a new position. So we have to start off in a good position for safety. If we're riding motorcycles, a position for safety is a good space cushion, good line of sight, and you have one escape path. So a space cushion is all this space, but we have a very small one to the right. So what I would do, if I saw this, if I'm riding and I saw this, I would move myself over here. This is where I'd be. Not to the right, I'd be off to the left. Now, why would I do that? Well, I have good line of sight ahead of me, so you notice how he's all the way on the far right, and you can see super far down. It's because he's lane splitting, but you can see super far down. That's a really good line of sight, so you can see ahead really far. So you can make choices based on what's happening way ahead versus what's like right in front of you because you can't see. Now, you also want an escape path. Well, this is an escape path too. That's an escape path. But if I was over here on the left, I had that same line of sight going this way. I have a big space cushion from all these vehicles, and I have an escape path on the shoulder to completely get away. So when I talk about position for safety, this is where I would want to be if I saw this. Does that make sense? Because when somebody does pull out, they're going to pull out from the left to the right. So you're lane splitting. You notice how there's no open lanes right here? So there's no real opportunities for cars to switch over. So this is relatively safe considering. It's still high risk, but it's relatively safe considering because there's no reason for another car to switch over and hit another car. They're not going to want to do that. It still can happen, but they're not going to want to do it. But when they see like this gap right here, that's an opportunity to the go left, right? So I'd slow it down. I'd be a little concerned. And then right here, big gap, they switch over. So we have three things we can do in an emergency situation. Emergency brake, emergency swerve, emergency accelerate. If we emergency accelerate, we're going to run into them quicker. We emergency swerve to the right, we're going to hit this semi. Emergency swerve to the left, There's a car in front of this car, so we have to swerve really far left to get over here on that shoulder, okay? Emergency braking. So emergency braking, we need to have enough total stopping distance. And what that means is that we see it, we reach for it, and we start applying. And then once we start applying, how long does it take us to actually stop? That's total stopping distance. There's not a lot of total stopping distance here. There's not a lot here. So the best we can hope for is a hard swerve to the left or applying the brakes really well progressively as much as we can. We're not going to stop in time, but hopefully we slow down enough so that that vehicle finally makes it over and then we can continue on. High risk, right? But that's why I always watch for big gaps. And there's a gap here too. Because this, if I see these gaps, I'm slowing down. I'm prepping for emergency brake. I'm prepping for emergency swerve. I'm prepping already. And there's the impact. There's not much you could have done. That's why it's high risk to lane split or lane filter. And that's why you want to go slower than you think you need to. Because if everyone is stopped and you're going 10 miles an hour, it's pretty simple. It's easy to brake, easy to swerve. At 10, you're still going 10 miles an hour faster than you normally would have if you stayed in line. I'm good with that. Wear full gear just in case you get the road rash. It sucks. It's a good lesson for us. We spent a little bit of time on the first video, and we're going to move on to some of the next ones pretty quickly. I wanted to get the lesson out to you. So making a U-turn like that or blaming the rider. Okay, let's see what happens.
Signal, I need to cut across 8 lane. None? I turn now. Good luck, everybody else.
Oh, yeah, definitely the car driver's fault. Really dumb of the car driver. Not much you could have done there. He's got an airbag vest. Hey, it inflated. That's an Alpinestars airbag vest. That's pretty cool. You see how it's all big? It's really good. All right, so what happened here? Okay, so we're going to the first available lane. That would help out, but this is typical. We're moving here. We can't anticipate they're doing this. I think he just turned on the blinker right now, last second. Now, we can always jump into, well, you know, the car driver should have switched lanes and then got into this lane and then turned left, went through a parking lot, then turned right and did that. Because that's the legal thing, right? That's the legal thing. Didn't do it. So we can't trust people. So as soon as we see this, we're talking about plan. We're in a good position for safety. We start, oh, what's that? Guy's turning left. So is it a relevant threat? Yeah, he's turning into an active threat because he's turning into my lane. We're going 32 miles an hour. Apply the brakes. Emergency braking. So we swerved into where they were going. I would have applied the brakes. That's why we're trying to learn from here. I'm armchair quarterback in this, but that's the thing is brakes and swerves. You have to pick. But there's the impact. And there's the head that impacted. So let's say I failed it too. Let's say I failed and I got into a crash. This right here is why you wear a full face helmet. This is why you wear full gear. Because sometimes crap just happens. Should the car driver have done that? No, absolutely not. Too many people with main character syndrome. Oh, make that left-handed turn. New rider. That was a really bad turn. All right. New rider with some gear, at least. Oh, so he's checking his pelvis. I'm going to point out. I want you guys to see this last part right before it switches. Watch where he grabs. Right there. See how he grabs? Grabbing that. So that's called guarding. You know, if somebody punches in the arm, you're like, ow. You naturally reach for it because you had pain. He's got pain there. So when I said new rider, why don't you take a look? Look how wide this turn is. Barely, he went from 30 to 21, like 30 something to 21. One thing I noticed with brand new riders is that it's easy to give it throttle. One of the hardest things that I've seen with riders is turning and braking. Okay, throttle's easy. The throttle, everyone seems to get that. First, they're a little bit scared. Some people are not. They just go. But it seems like everybody is scared to apply the brakes and to turn. That's the scary part. And so when I saw this rider, watch him go wide. Why did we go wide? It's because before the intersection, we weren't slowing down to make the turn. We were just rolling off the throttle and coasting through the turn. I need you guys to start practicing your braking. Brake before the turn, go through the turn, and then if you need to, you can give it a little bit more throttle. But if you're in the middle of the turn and you're going too fast, now you're having to brake and turn. That's going to be hard for a new rider. So learn to brake before the turn and make the turn. Now, it really kind of came full circle is that he's scared of braking, because when we get to this situation, where's the braking? There's no braking. And here's the thing is, like, if you go into motorcycle riding onto the street with only the skill of turning and acceleration, but not good braking, I don't know why I did that, but not good braking, there's going to be situations where you need to be braking. So now you don't have the skill set to be braking. And this is going to happen. So you need to learn how to turn and accelerate and brake. Those are the three things on a motorcycle you can do. You need to learn how to brake. So practice in a parking lot. I got a video series coming out hopefully soon for you guys, but it's in part of the Smart Rider Training Manual. We go over emergency braking. We go over regular braking. We go over the testing that you're going to have to do for the braking. We're going to do all that stuff. But this is a brand new rider that doesn't know how to brake, but is riding on the road. And the whole guarding thing on the pelvis, if you really want to, look up traumatic open book fracture of the pelvis on Google. Safe search off. And the reason why he's having pelvic pain is because once he slammed into the car, he slid up on the gas tank and hit his pelvis really hard on the gas tank. All right, going 100.
Wasn't sure whether it was their front or rear wheel that slipped or if he had just
lost of traction.
He stressed that thanks to wearing proper motorcycle gear, he walked away without...
So sharp turn, you see the chevrons. Okay, so we low-sided. Can't really tell outside. I mean, the road seemed pretty clear. Just leaned really far down. Full gear leathers. He's got a jacket over his leathers. All right, moving on. 118, 120. What's that? 120 kilometers an hour. That is 75. We're going 75. That's really fast for a road like this. 140, 87 miles per hour. Unless this bike is not. Oh, that's way too fast for that area. Ooh, got very lucky. Oh, that'll do it. That'll do it. You're not going to ride that bike. It lost all air. That thing is done. Rim and tire. So I want to point that out, though. Look what he hit. He just hit the guardrail with his front tire. I bet his right foot. Yeah, so that's what I was trying to point out, is that if that guardrail can do that to metal, imagine what it can do to your flesh. So that's why it's really important not to be going super duper fast in an area like this, with a road like this. Because then when this happens, it's not just your bike that can get tore up, it can be your flesh. Oh, please wear gear. So sharp right turn, you see the turn arrow? Okay. Oh, what's around the corner? It's a blind corner. So what do? So he swerved out of the way. Good. Get back in your lane. Okay, wear gear, please. And right there, look at the other sign. We have another caution sign saying, hey, we have some sharp turns ahead. That should give you an idea. Hey, maybe I shouldn't be doing some stupid stuff. And you see that he's got a phone mount. I use rock form, so link in the description for 20% off. I love this thing. It's a magnet. And then also it locks in on the back, like on your valve stem or on your motorcycle. But if you see right there, it says 8 or 0.7 miles a left turn. So that's really good. It chats with your cardo. Link in the description for 10% off. A little Bluetooth system. I love that because it lets me know like what's coming up. All right, here we go. We have a turn, same thing. Oh, did we hit a rock? There's a lot of noise now. Okay, real quick. See how hard that was to see? So if you're riding out in the mountains, like all the shadows and how it's like all weird, it's basically camouflaging a lot of road surface hazards. When you're out riding the mountains and you have like rock, like sides like this is typical. This happens. You got to be very careful. Happens on Mount Lemmon all the time. A lot of motorcyclists crash because of it. So if you're coming around the mountains, go at a speed that is relaxing. Okay, I like to say that, relaxing. A lot of people have different terms for that. To them, going 100 is relaxing. To me, relaxing is looking at the scenery and having a good time when it comes to that. Because when you're going a little bit slower, you're able to kind of go and navigate around it. He didn't see it until he hit it. Now, if he hit this and you're like, oh crap, you hear it, it's kind of weird. Instead of speeding off, park it and take a look at your bike. Take a look at your bike. Because you could have damaged it.
Here we have a pretty dangerous situation where the rider coming from
Did we not just go through a dangerous situation? There's more?
the opposite direction ignored the double yellow line and decided to overtake.
If I was this like that was within like 30 seconds. If I was this motorcycle rider, I would have taken this as I'm gonna go home. I just hit a bunch of rocks. Somebody almost ran straight into me. Today is just gonna not be the day I'm gonna ride. I'm just gonna go to the pool. I'm gonna have a beer and go to the pool. Like, I'll ride another day. Oh, probably copyrighted music, so we're gonna do this. And there's a nice little crash. Okay, so speeding. Oh, we hit. What did we hit? Is there a hydrant that? I don't see a hydrant. There's definitely water runoff, but it's in the middle of a turn. So he lost traction right there. See, that's what the rear tire looks like when it loses traction. We probably did the same thing and we went wide. And there's the impact. Yep, it happened to us too. Oh my gosh. I need a thumbnail. Yeah, not much you could have done with that. Other than don't be speeding and racing. Because you don't know what the road surface hazards could look like. Oh my gosh. So how do we we got like tons of people crashing. We have to hopefully rescue them. Hopefully nobody's having major bleeds. I had to mute it. Yep, there's the ambulance. There's a C-collar. Lots of patients. That's a mass MPI, mass patient incident. You call them MCIs, mass casualty incidents, but you're gonna need a lot of resources on scene to help out with that because that's a lot of patients, a lot of high mechanism there. At least they had full gear, yeah. All right, here we go.
I hear that too, like whenever you speak.
I don't know what that is.
Oh, I see exactly what it is. I can see what it is. All right, be careful.
Is helmet strap?
Yo.
Side of the vehicle.
You're good.
Ooh.
That was a close
Come
call.
on, man.
Wow. The fuck are you doing? Well, there's your first close call, buddy.
All right, so let's go back.
Cardo.
Cardo. I love the fact that they have a Cardo. So what you can do with the Cardo. So this is probably what they're using. They're using the Cardo Pack Talk Edge Duo. You go halvesies with a friend. You can talk to each other and see how they're talking to each other. But one of the cool things that I found out a while ago, they updated their app a long time ago, is that you can record your conversation through the app. And it's got some pretty good quality. I don't know if they're using the edges themselves. I think they are, but you can record your conversations. So it's kind of cool. You can have like a motorcycle podcast. You can record your conversations and talk to each other. So what he's saying is that he can hear his strap. He's got his helmet strap and it's loose and it's just smacking, doing this. So that's what he can hear.
I hear that too, like whenever you speak.
I don't know what that is.
Oh, I see exactly what it is. I can see
Yeah, so his strap is,
what
yeah.
it is. All right, be careful.
So that's the cool. And so right here, he's like, got to be careful because the guy in the back sees the side of the vehicle, and that's a pattern that we talk about. So that's the side of the vehicle. What that indicates is that we're coming into an intersection. Because if you're just doing this, you only see the backs of the vehicles, right? Or the front of the vehicles on oncoming traffic. But if you see the side of the vehicle, that means there's an intersection. So when you see the side of the vehicle and somebody's kind of waiting there, are they going to come out? Hey, at least I know that's an intersection, right? So he's telling him, hey, be careful. So very good, Pure Flight. So he's telling him to be careful because that guy is probably starting to get distracted from the conversations. Oh, I got to do my strap. So if you're in a situation, though, like the first guy where your strap, you didn't strap it in, pull off, take your gloves off, put the strap on, put your gloves back on, go. Don't try to do it while you're riding, especially in an area like this. I wouldn't even do it while I was riding, even if it's clear of traffic. And then just kind of keep chatting with each other. And then what happens here is he sees it last second. That's a panic rear brake. That's smashing that rear brake because it locks up that rear tire. And now he's starting to fishtail. So if you feel this, like you do it, right? You do that too much rear brake and you get to this point, release it. Release it. Because what's happening is that you're pushing down so hard, it locks the tire. Once you release it, it starts rolling. And when it starts rolling, it wants to get back in line. So you're going to feel a little bit of a jerk when you release it, but it got back in line. Now you have control again. Now apply front and rear brake progressively using progressive brake pressure. So good job on him because he's going to release it. I'm going to rewind it just a little bit. Watch him release it.
Careful. Yo.
So it's on.
You're good.
Oh, he never did. Oh, because he used his front.
Call.
So he did release the rear brake,
Wow.
but he was using his front to stop.
The fuck are you doing?
I was looking at the brake light. It never went off. But good job. Fix your helmet strap. Because imagine you didn't have your helmet strap and you hit the side of the vehicle and your helmet flies off. And I listen to music on when I ride. I do. But I have my GPS going and I can hear it through the Cardo and then my phone mount. It's relaxing. I use earplugs. I always do that. I always wear earplugs. All right, nighttime riding, look at where your headlights go. That's as far as you can see. That's as far as you can react from. You can't see anything past it, so you can't react to anything past your headlights. So what that means is you should probably take it a little bit slower. But I love having the GPS. That's great. See how you couldn't react? Can't see anything, can't see anything. Now you see something. As a new student, bikes don't have ABS for those cases. A lot of the newer bikes do have ABS, but you want to get to the point with your braking skill that you don't activate ABS. ABS is only activated if you squeeze the brakes or you in a car, push the brakes so hard that it now kicks in. And what it does, instead of locking the tire, it locks it up, releases, locks it up, releases, locks it up, releases, locks it up, releases, locks it up, releases. That's what ABS does. With progressive braking, you're slowing down, slowing down, slowing down, slowing down, slowing down. It never locks and does that. So new bikes do have ABS, but remember you're balancing on 2 tires versus 4 tires on a car. So activating your ABS in a car, you're not gonna you're not going to like fall over, right? But on a bike, you might start, oh crap, and then fall over still. It's a safety net. If you're a trapeze artist, it's good to have a safety net, right? So, but you want to have so much skill that you don't ever need the safety net. You want to have so much skill with braking that you don't need to activate ABS. But if for some reason something happens and your skill fails, hopefully the safety net or ABS will catch it. So you want to get to a point where you don't need ABS, but you really want to have it, if that makes sense.
Here it's worth noting that Drayder didn't panic despite a fairly serious malfunction, which helped him
Oh, his clip on.
with serious consequences.
Okay, don't panic. Roll off the throttle, because you don't really have one at this point. Very good. Handled it. Nice little camera angle. Very cool. We lost our chain. How come we don't have no power? Okay, once that happens, you're out. It's basically, when that happens, when the chain falls off, think of it this way. You're not going to know the chain fell off. The chain falls off. So chain's gone. So in essence, what's really happening is just like if you're riding and you're giving it throttle, but you have your clutch pulled in. You can give it all you want. No power is getting to that rear wheel. So he doesn't have the clutch in. He lost his chain or his belt, right? So he's giving power, but there's no belt drive, chain drive moving the tire. So as much as you want, it's not going to put power to the rear wheel. So no matter what happens in this situation, you know you're coasting. You're just going to coast. Hopefully that's all it is, because he doesn't know it's the chain. It could have been his tire. It could have been something. It could have been a full-on mechanical issue. Roll, get towards the shoulder, start downshifting, using engine braking, maybe a little bit of brakes. You don't know exactly what's going on. Just get yourself to a slow enough speed so that if something does happen and you do crash, you're crashing at 10 miles an hour versus 60. Like, your goal is to slow down as much as you can, as quick as you can, hold it straight, get to the shoulder so nobody hits you. Yeah, that sucks. So right now he doesn't know why. So at this point, if like you've tried to shift and you're like, I don't know why I don't have any I have no power. I need to pull off. I need to pull off. All right, what do we got here? Nighttime riding. Can't see much. Somebody kind of cuts in our lane. People do that all the time. It is what it is. Space cushion. I want to point out space cushion. This is a great view here. So when it comes to planning a ride, we want to have a good space cushion, line of sight, and escape path. Space cushion, for me, it really depends on what I can see and then what I can brake for total stopping distance, and then possibly where I could swerve. Do I have enough room to swerve? Do I have enough time to brake? And can I see? That's really kind of where I judge, am I in a safe place? And right here, when you're right in the middle of the lane and you have a big truck in front of you and you have a very short distance, you can't see around this truck very well. And I don't like that. That means I'm riding in this. If I can see way ahead, that means I'm riding in this. Does that make sense? Because you can react off of something up here versus having to react basically off of this. And I can't see anything. And it's the same concept as this. If you're this close to somebody, you see how you can't see around me? But if you start pulling away and getting further away from somebody, you see how you can see around them? See how you can see around them? And that's the same concept. That's the same concept. The closer you are, the bigger they get. The bigger they get, they take up more of your vision. I don't want to be that close. So just like an unorthodox said, if we're going 45, we're both going 45 here. If we roll off to like 35, 40, they're going to continue going 45. We're going to slowly separate. And then once I get into the distance I like, I get back to 45, and now we're doing 45 like this versus 45 like this. Roll off. Roll off. Now we're doing 45. That's what I would do. Because you see how hard he had to brake? Because all of a sudden, quick brakes for that truck. If he had a big space cushion, you would have just seen him go and make that left. What do we got here? Got a little close. They weren't paying attention. Okay. Yeah, they got a little close. They saw it. Thankfully, nothing happened. It was a close call. Nothing you could have done about it. Oh, lots of passengers. 1 second. Who's the boyfriend in this one? Oh, boy. That's how you get beat up. But just move on. Just move on. It's crossing the tram tracks pretty well. Yeah, just move on. They're talking to each other in the cardos.
Alles okay bei dir?
Nein, warum?
Warum kickst du denn auf Motorrad?
So, mein Kopf macht so. Ich bin
Dein
so.
Kopf macht so.
Ja, ich bin so. Mit Problem oder was?
Aber auf Motorrad.
Schizophrenic. He's got a mental illness.
Du hast ihn fast
So this is why I don't deal with it, because he could have a knife and just, if he's gonna be acting that erratic with kicking a motorcycle, you don't think he's gonna be like going nuts and then maybe stab you? It's not worth it.
Ja, der ist deppert.
All right, what do we got here? Nice camera angle. Oh, 360. Oh, somebody crashed. Somebody crashed. What do we do? What do we do? He's walking. That's good. Barely. Not good. Nice U-turn. Real quick, though, if you guys want to practice, I forgot to even say this earlier, but if you want to practice your U-turns, I do have a book. So it's Slow Speed Maneuvers. It's called the Smart Rider Motorcycle Training Drills. It comes with a phone-friendly version that if you get the physical book, you get the phone-friendly version for free. There's also just the phone-friendly version, so you can just get that. It's in the shop. But anyways, what's inside? Bunch of different designs. 24 drills. You only need 10 cones or 5 tennis balls cut in half. I show you how to do it. You can scan the QR code. It'll take you to a video. And then same thing when it comes to the digital version. Is like, how am I going to scan the QR code? Well, you can just click it. Right there. And it'll take you to the video. So I can show you how to do it. You can practice your slow speed maneuvers, because he did a really good U-turn right here. And you want to be able to do a U-turn within 20 feet, because typically these roads are about 20 to 24 feet wide. You don't want a 3-point turn this. You want to do a quick, nice little U-turn. Quick little U-turn. See how, yeah, you want to be able to make that U-turn. So practice it. Links in the description. I sell it with cones.
Gravel through here. Is that what got you?
I got cones, but a physical book and a digital book.
Okay.
If you get the physical stuff, you automatically get a digital book too. Nice. Helping them out. Love that.
All right.
All right, moving on. Streets to peaks. Here we go. Having some fun. See, this would be great. Like, imagine, like, you don't have to go fast to enjoy this. Treat this just like the asphalt road. Try not to crash, but just cruise. Enjoy the fact that you're on 2 wheels. You know, this happens. You know, it happens. Probably went a little too slow, hit a rut, fell over. Understand how to protect yourself. Understand how to pick up the bike. It's protecting the bike with the crash guards. You know, because everything works still. You have frame sliders coming. Nice.
Hey, I like your bike.
Get away from me,
Sorry, what was that?
I said I like your bike.
Oh, I appreciate
you
that.
succubus.
You're welcome.
Get
You
away.
ride through here often?
Yeah, I'm a local.
I know what you're trying to do.
Me too.
Really? That's what's up?
Nope.
Yeah. I guess that means the next time I bump into you, you're kind of obligated to give me a ride.
Nope. Get away,
I don't know.
demon.
Actually,
Why, do you have like a girlfriend or something?
no, it's not really that. It's just, you know,
It's just, what, am I not hot
Nope.
enough for you?
This is a skit, but
no. but I wouldn't necessarily say you're like my taste.
I'm not your taste.
Yeah, like I'm not really looking for anything.
If that's the case, taste.
Yeah, it's a skit. Equal rights and equal lefts. If somebody did that, that's assault. Actually, that's battery. Assault is a threat of violence with words. Battery is actually physically doing that. So I'm going to defend myself. It's a terrible skit too, because you're gonna get slushy in your gas tank. Yeah. No, like if somebody ever comes up, if a woman comes up to me,
It's just, what, am I not hot enough for you?
and she's acting like that, get away from me, demon woman.
Taste?
Yeah, like, yo,
What?
do I fuck?
Get a loser.
Oh my gosh, what are you doing, bro? My gas tank. Are you fucking serious, bro?
Well, it's not good that you're putting diesel in there. Slow speed maneuvers. What, he's gonna go over this?
Well, this is a shortcut.
I wouldn't do that.
Whoa!
Got scared. It's a little drop off, dude. It's just a tiny drop off. So he slammed the front brake. So he had to layer down. So this is a dual sport version of had to layer down. Okay. So we're coming up to here. That's a crest of the, so we can pretend. Let's pretend this is a road. So this is what's called a crest of the hill. You see how it looks like it keeps going, but it's a hill. You know it's a hill, right? And then when you finally get closer to the top, you see, oh, crap. So if we're on a road and there's a crest of the hill, like you can't, it just kind of, the road disappears. You don't know if it swerves left or swerves right. So go over the crest of the hill nice and easy. And then when you can see, then you can make decisions. But if you're hauling booty over it and then it turns left hard, you're not prepped for the turn, so you tend to panic with the brakes, right? Or you freeze. Here, same thing. He sees this, panics. Well, when in doubt, for off-roading sometimes, or for most of the time, when in doubt, throttle out. So here, I would have just given it some gas.
Whoa!
Yeah. You know, I didn't grow up off-roading, so when in doubt, throttle out. I had to learn as an adult, but I remember just a little fun thing. We're about to finish the video here. I used to play a lot of soccer as a kid, and one of my coaches would tell me, because I played defense and also offense and halfback and everything. He would tell me, when in doubt, kick it out. Like if you feel like you're getting stuck and you're like the only defender and everyone else is screwing off, like, and you're next to and you're about to defend, don't try to take the ball from the person, or don't try to like dribble it past. When in doubt, just kick the ball out of bounds, and it resets everybody. You know what I mean? So when in doubt, reset. When in doubt, reset. When in doubt, throttle out on this one. I don't know. Anyways, short story. With that said, hope you guys ride safe, be safe, and we have one more on the live stream to watch, and make sure you hit that subscribe button. I'll see you guys later.